Imagine waking up and the sky is wrong. Not gray, not cloudy, wrong. A dark, heavy orange that doesn't move, doesn't change, just sits there pressing down on everything beneath it. You step outside. The air hits you immediately burnt, metallic, like someone left iron on a stove for 100 years and then cracked open the door. Your phone shows no signal. Your neighbor's car alarm is going off, but no one is coming to stop it. The streets are silent. No engines, no voices, no dogs barking. You go back inside. You open your fridge. The power's been out since before you woke up. Everything inside is already starting to turn. Meat, dairy, leftovers, gone. So you get in your car, you drive to the nearest store. But when you get there, the parking lot looks like a disaster scene. Carts everywhere, windows shattered, and inside the shelves, empty, completely stripped, like a swarm passed through in the night and took everything. In the next 72 hours, food will become more valuable than gold. Not money, not fuel, food. And most people are completely unprepared. But a few people will be calm. A few people will be sitting in their homes, doors locked, supplies stacked, ready to wait this out. Not because they got lucky, because they prepared, because they stock specific foods, foods that don't rot, don't expire, don't fail you when everything else does. These 31 foods could decide who survives and who doesn't. Stay with me, because this list might be the most important thing you watch this year. Let's be honest about what happens after a nuclear event or any large-scale disaster. People always assume the government will step in fast. They assume stores will restock. They assume someone will come. But here's what actually happens. Supply chains collapse within hours. Not days. Hours. The trucks stop running. The distribution centers go dark. And the stores that are still standing get emptied by panic buyers before most people even realize what's going on. After major disasters, grocery stores empty within hours. That's not an exaggeration, that's documented history. Katrina, Fukushima, every major blackout ever recorded. People grab everything. Baby formula, bread, water, gone. And fresh food? Forget it. Refrigeration fails, produce spoils. Meat becomes a health risk within a day. What you have in your home on day one is likely all you're going to have for a very long time. This is not theory. This is what actually lasts when everything else fails. These are the foods that preppers, military survival experts, and emergency agencies quietly rely on. Foods that work. Foods that last. Foods that keep you alive when the world outside has gone dark. Let's go through all 31, and I promise you some of these will surprise you. We start with what I call the forever foods. These aren't just long-lasting. They are essentially immortal when stored correctly, and the science behind them is fascinating. First, honey. Honey has been found in ancient Egyptian tombs, 3,000 years old, still edible, still good. Why? Because honey is naturally antimicrobial. Its low moisture content and slightly acidic pH create an environment where bacteria simply cannot survive. Mold can't grow, fermentation can't start, nothing gets in. In a nuclear survival situation, honey does three things. It gives you quick energy when you need it most. It works as a natural antiseptic for wounds if your medical supplies run out, and it can sweeten otherwise unbearable food when morale is at rock bottom. Store it sealed. Store it somewhere cool and dark. It will outlast you. Some of these foods have been found in ancient tombs still edible. Honey is the proof. The science doesn't lie. Next, salt. Salt was once used as currency. Roman soldiers were paid in it. The word salary literally comes from salt. That's how valuable it was considered throughout human history. And in survival, it might be even more valuable. Salt preserves other food. It pulls moisture out of bacteria, killing it before it can spread. In a world without refrigeration, salt is the closest thing you have to a preservation system. It also replaces electrolytes your body loses through sweat and stress. When you're in a high-anxiety survival situation, your body burns through sodium fast. Deficiency leads to muscle cramps, confusion, weakness. Salt keeps that from happening. Stored in an airtight container, it lasts forever, literally. No expiration, no degradation, just salt ready and waiting. Sugar. Pure white sugar, kept dry and sealed, does not expire. Ever. Like salt, its low moisture content prevents microbial growth. Bacteria need water to thrive. Sugar offers none. Beyond preservation, sugar is fast fuel. In a crisis, when your stress hormones are surging and your body is burning energy at an accelerated rate, sugar gives you immediate calories. Quick energy when you need to think fast or move fast. And don't underestimate its morale value. A small amount of sweetness in a world that has gone completely dark matters more than you'd think. And then there's white rice. Specifically, white rice, not brown. Brown rice retains its bran layer, which contains oils that go rancid over time. White rice, properly sealed in airtight containers with oxygen absorbers, can last 25 to 30 years. It is the single most reliable calorie source you can stockpile. 1 cup of dry white rice, when cooked, becomes 2.5 cups of food. It fills you. It fuels you. It's easy to digest even when your body is under enormous stress. And it pairs with almost everything else on this list. Cultures across Asia have survived on rice for thousands of years. There's a reason for that. Now we move into what I call the canned lifelines. And before I go further, I need to tell you something important. One mistake with canned food can turn it deadly. If a can is bulging, dented along the seams, or makes a hissing sound when you open it, do not eat it. That's botulism. A single bite can kill you. No hospital, no antidote. In a survival situation, that's a death sentence. Learn to read your cans. Your life might depend on it. Canned beans. Kidney beans, black beans, chickpeas, lentil blends. These are survival gold. Beans are one of the most complete food sources available in a can, high in protein, high in fiber, high in complex carbohydrates that release energy slowly, keeping you stable for hours instead of crashing after a sugar spike. In a nuclear aftermath, your immune system is going to be under pressure. Your gut health matters. Beans feed the good bacteria in your digestive system. They keep your body running like it should, even when everything around you has stopped. Shelf life in the can? Typically 2 to 5 years officially, but studies have shown properly stored canned beans remain safe and nutritious well beyond that. Canned meat lasts 3 to 5 years on the label. In real-world testing, much longer. Canned vegetables, don't skip these. Corn, peas, spinach, carrots, mixed greens. Here's the thing. In a nuclear survival scenario, you are not getting fresh produce. None. Fresh vegetables will be off the table for potentially months or years depending on the scale of the event. Canned vegetables are the only source of vitamins and minerals that will be readily accessible. Vitamin C deficiency leads to scurvy. Vitamin A deficiency impairs your vision and immune function. These aren't historical problems. They become very real, very fast when your diet is stripped down to bare basics. Canned vegetables are the difference between surviving and slowly breaking down from the inside. And finally in this group, canned fish. Sardines, tuna, salmon, mackerel. These are uniquely powerful because they carry omega-3 fatty acids. And here's why that matters in a survival context. Omega-3s reduce inflammation. In a post-nuclear environment, your body is dealing with radiation stress, physical exertion, poor sleep, and psychological trauma. All of that causes systemic inflammation. Omega-3s help counteract that. They also support brain function and mood regulation. Sardines in particular are one of the most complete survival foods that exist. Protein, fat, calcium from the bones, omega-3s. A single tin is a complete meal. Now let's talk about the dry survival staples. These foods don't just last, they keep your energy stable when your body is under stress. That distinction matters, because in a crisis, you're going to experience energy crashes, adrenaline spikes, long periods of low activity followed by sudden demands for intense physical or mental output. The right foods buffer those swings. Dried pasta sealed in airtight bags or containers lasts up to 30 years. It's pure carbohydrate energy. Easy to cook with minimal fuel. Filling. Versatile. You can combine it with canned tomatoes, canned meat, olive oil, salt. In a world of limited options, pasta gives you variety. Lentils. Unlike most legumes, lentils don't need soaking. You can cook them in 20 minutes. They are incredibly dense in protein and iron. Iron deficiency is another silent killer in long-term survival situations. It causes fatigue, weakness, cognitive fog. Lentils fight that, and stored in sealed containers, they last 10 or more years. Oats. Rolled oats stored in sealed containers last up to 30 years. They are one of the best slow-release energy sources available. Oats contain beta-glucan, a fiber that slows digestion, keeps blood sugar stable, and feeds your gut microbiome. In a survival scenario where stress is constant and sleep is inconsistent, stable blood sugar is a psychological anchor. Oats provide that. Powdered milk. Fresh milk is gone from day one. Powdered milk keeps for 2 to 10 years depending on storage conditions. It gives you calcium, vitamin D, and protein. It can be used to enrich almost any food. Mixed into oats, added to rice dishes, dissolved in water when you need something that feels close to normal. And that word matters more than people admit. Normal. A small taste of normal can keep someone mentally functional when everything else is pushing them toward the edge. But here's the scary part. We're halfway through this list, and even if you stocked every single one of these foods, most people would still be in serious trouble. Because food alone doesn't save you. You need water to cook almost everything on this list, and in a nuclear scenario, local water sources are compromised. Pipes fail. Radiation contaminates open water. The average person needs 2 liters a day just to survive, more if they're under physical or emotional stress. If you don't have a water storage plan or a filtration system, your food stockpile becomes irrelevant. And there's a second problem: planning. Most people who panic buy do it randomly. They grab what looks familiar. They don't think about caloric density, nutritional balance, how long they actually need to last. They grab chips and cereal and call it prepared. That's not preparation. That's a false sense of security. The people who survive are the people who thought this through before the crisis hit, before the sirens, before the empty shelves. Keep watching, because the rest of this list is where things get really serious. Let's talk about the high-calorie survival boosters. In survival, calories equal life. That's not a slogan, that's biology. Your body needs a minimum number of calories just to keep your organs running, your temperature regulated, your immune system functioning. Drop below that number for too long, and your body starts consuming itself. First fat, then muscle, then organ tissue. Caloric density is everything when your food supply is limited. You want maximum energy per gram stored. Peanut butter. One of the most calorie-dense shelf-stable foods that exists. A single tablespoon delivers nearly 100 calories. A full jar gives you thousands. It contains protein, healthy fat, and enough staying power to keep you full for hours. It requires no cooking, no preparation, just open and eat. Peanut butter is what survival experts call a Tier 1 food. High calories, long shelf life up to 2 years and beyond when stored properly, zero preparation required. It is the closest thing to a perfect survival food. Nuts, almonds, walnuts, cashews. Vacuum-sealed nuts last 1 to 2 years and deliver an extraordinary calorie punch per handful. They also carry magnesium, which supports sleep and muscle function. In a high-stress environment, magnesium depletion is common. Nuts quietly counteract that. Energy bars. Purpose-built survival and emergency bars are compressed calorie blocks. Some are designed specifically for disaster scenarios. They don't trigger thirst, which matters when water is scarce. They're compact. They require nothing, and they store for 3 to 5 years without degrading. Chocolate. Pure dark chocolate with high cocoa content. This is not a treat in a survival context. This is a functional food. It is calorie-dense. It contains theobromine, a natural stimulant that improves mood and alertness without the crash of caffeine. It lasts for 1 to 2 years. And when someone in your group is mentally collapsing from stress and despair, a single square of chocolate can reset them. Don't dismiss that. Mental collapse is real. It kills people in survival situations just as surely as starvation does. Now here's the group most people completely overlook. I call them the hidden gems. And what most people don't realize is that survival isn't just physical, it's psychological. The biggest threat after the first week isn't hunger, it's despair. When people lose all sense of normalcy, when every meal is flavorless and cold and identical to the last, something breaks inside them, they stop caring. They make dangerous decisions. They give up. These foods don't just feed your body, they keep you mentally alive. Instant coffee. Caffeine is a legitimate survival tool. It increases alertness. It reduces the perception of fatigue. In a situation where you are standing watch, making critical decisions, managing a group of scared people, mental sharpness is not optional. Coffee also provides a ritual. Something warm. Something that feels like before. That psychological anchor is worth more than most people realize. Stored in sealed containers, instant coffee lasts up to 20 years. Tea. Herbal teas carry antioxidants. Some have mild calming effects. Chamomile reduces anxiety. Peppermint aids digestion. Green tea provides gentle caffeine and a sense of routine. Dried tea bags last for years. And in a world where every waking moment is stress, 30 minutes with a warm cup of tea can keep someone functional. Bouillon cubes. Compressed blocks of salt, fat, and flavor. Drop one into boiling water, and you have broth. Add rice. Add pasta. Add lentils. Suddenly, a tasteless survival meal becomes something that feels like food again. That shift in experience matters enormously for group morale and individual mental health. Bouillon cubes last for up to 2 years. Take up almost no space. Weigh almost nothing. They are one of the most space-efficient morale tools on this entire list. Soy sauce. Shelf life of 2 to 3 years once opened. Much longer sealed. Soy sauce is pure fermented salt and umami. It adds depth and flavor to anything. And here's the deeper truth. Humans eat with their senses. When food looks and smells and tastes like nothing, when every meal is a reminder of what's been lost, people deteriorate fast. Soy sauce sounds trivial. In reality, it's a psychological survival tool that takes up a single bottle of space. Morale matters. These can keep you mentally alive when nothing else can. And now we reach the final group. The one that separates casual preppers from true long-term survivors. The ultimate long-term storage foods. These are not everyday grocery items. These are purpose-engineered survival foods, and some of these can last 25 years or more. That's not a typo. That's not marketing. That's science. Freeze-dried meals. Freeze-drying removes approximately 98% of moisture from food while preserving its nutritional content almost entirely. The result is a lightweight, compact product that rehydrates with water and tastes remarkably close to real food. Freeze-dried meals from reputable emergency food companies carry shelf lives of 25 to 30 years when stored in sealed, oxygen-free containers. They are expensive per unit, but per year of shelf life they are extraordinarily cost-effective, and in a long-term survival scenario, they might be the most important investment you ever made. Dehydrated fruits. Apricots, mango, blueberries, apple slices. When properly dehydrated and sealed, these last 5 to 10 years they carry vitamins and natural sugars that are almost impossible to get from other shelf-stable sources. Vitamin C in particular. And they give you something sweet, something that feels like a reward in a world that no longer has any. In child psychology and trauma care, small positive sensory experiences help regulate emotional states. The same is true for adults under extreme stress. A handful of sweet dried fruit after a hard day is not a luxury. It is a psychological survival mechanism. Hardtack. This is old, ancient even. Hardtack is nothing more than flour, water, and salt baked until bone dry. It was the staple food of soldiers and sailors for centuries. Civil War troops carried it. Sailors on voyages lasted months on it. It has almost no moisture, which means mold cannot grow. Stored in airtight containers, it lasts decades. It's not delicious. Nobody's going to tell you hardtack is delicious. But it is dense, caloric, and virtually indestructible. In a long-term survival scenario when everything else is running low, hardtack keeps you alive. Survival ration bars. These are the most engineered foods on this list. Compact blocks of compressed calories, vitamins, and minerals, designed specifically for emergency scenarios. They are formulated to not increase thirst, which is critical when water is limited. They don't require preparation. No fire, no water, no tools, just open and consume. Some Survive ration bars carry shelf lives of 5 years at ambient temperatures and much longer when stored correctly. Coast Guard vessels, emergency kits, government disaster caches. These bars are standard issue because they work. And here's the final piece of this group that most people don't think about. Vinegar. White vinegar. Apple cider vinegar. Both last indefinitely when sealed. And in a survival context, vinegar has multiple functions. It preserves other food through pickling. It's an antibacterial cleaning agent. It can be used in food preparation to add flavor and acidity. And it extends the life of other perishables dramatically. Olive oil. High-quality olive oil sealed in dark glass lasts 1 to 2 years easily. It is pure fat, and fat is critical for brain function, hormone production, and calorie density. You can cook with it. Use it as a salad dressing substitute. Add it to pasta to make a simple high-calorie meal. Baking soda. Lasts indefinitely. It's a leavening agent, a cleaning agent, an antacid, and a basic chemical that has dozens of applications in a survival scenario. A single box takes up almost no space. Apple cider vinegar with a mother. This fermented product lasts years. It supports gut health, which becomes critical when your diet shifts radically in a disaster scenario. Gut disruption is one of the first things people experience after a sudden diet change. Apple cider vinegar helps buffer that transition. Dried herbs and spices, garlic powder, cumin, chili flakes, oregano. These last 2 to 3 years and often longer. They add flavor, they carry antioxidants, and some, like garlic, have antimicrobial properties. When your diet is limited to the same rotation of foods for weeks or months, spices become the single most powerful tool you have for making meals psychologically bearable. And finally, white distilled vinegar in bulk. Not just for food, for sanitation, for wound cleaning, for surface decontamination, in a post-nuclear world where infection is a real threat, and medical supplies are gone, something as simple as vinegar can save your life. You now have all 31. But I want to leave you with something more important than a list. Because a list doesn't save you, a mindset does. The people who survive catastrophic events share one common trait. They thought about it before it happened. They didn't wait for the warning. They didn't wait for the news. They prepared while life was still normal, while stores were still open, while they still had time. Here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Food is not comfort anymore when the grid goes down. It is survival. It is leverage. It is the single most critical resource you control when everything outside has collapsed. The biggest mistake isn't buying the wrong food. The biggest mistake is waiting. thinking you have more time, thinking it won't happen to you, thinking someone else will handle it. No one is coming to handle it. In a large-scale nuclear scenario, FEMA has publicly acknowledged that they cannot reach every affected area. Government stockpiles are finite. Emergency services get overwhelmed in hours. You are the first responder. You are the supply chain. You are the plan. And right now, while you're watching this, while the stores are stocked and the power is on and everything feels normal, you have a window. It might be a wide window. It might be a narrow one. You don't know. Nobody knows. What you do know is this. The people who are going to be okay when the worst happens are already preparing right now. Quietly, without panic, without drama. One bag of rice, one can of beans, one jar of honey at a time. Building something that feels like nothing today but will be everything tomorrow. Prepare now. Not next week, not after the next paycheck, not when things calm down, now. Because when it happens and history tells us something always happens, there won't be a warning loud enough. There won't be time to drive to the store. There won't be a second chance to wish you had done this when you had the chance. The shelf is either stocked or it isn't. Make sure yours is,